This is Radio Taiwan International.
Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Tristan Hildebrand, coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at today's top stories for Tuesday, March 17th. The Taiwanese government addresses Chinese AI-generated disinformation campaigns. One legislator's status is in question amid a Chinese citizenship dispute, and Japan will allow 2 working holidays for Taiwanese youth. But first, today's top story. In response to lawmakers' concerns about the CCP's increasingly sophisticated cognitive warfare tactics against Taiwan, Mainland Affairs Council MAC Minister Chiu Cui-zeng said Tuesday that the government is addressing AI-generated disinformation campaigns on 4 fronts. DPP legislator Michelle Lin noted that China's methods of infiltrating Taiwanese society are growing increasingly sophisticated, alongside the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence, which they use to interfere with elections and to erode trust in the government and public institutions in democratic countries. Lin said that according to statistics, about 17,000 abnormal accounts and 155,000 pieces of suspicious content are created annually, indicating that the scale of these operations is expanding continuously. Cho confirmed that China's AI-generated videos, bot accounts, and CCP-linked apps indeed threaten the function of Taiwan's free and democratic way of life, and that these tactics can significantly influence public opinion. To combat this issue, he said the government is focused on 4 key areas: cross-ministerial coordination, cooperation with multinational online platforms, legal means for regulating false information, and strengthening media literacy. Cho said,
"We have put forth a number of legal tools targeting fake news that harms national security and social stability. New pieces of legislation have already been submitted for review. We hope both the ruling and opposition parties can support them. In addition, we need to improve media literacy throughout society to prevent people from being influenced by disinformation."
The minister emphasized that Taiwan must build mechanisms to defend its democracy and strengthen overall societal resilience in order to counter the impact of cognitive warfare. This Monday, TPP legislator Li Zhenxiu, whose eligibility to serve is still under dispute, made her debut at the legislature. She did so alone, as officials from the Interior Ministry refused to take the stand for questioning. The following day, Li said she respects the Central Election Commission's CEC's plan to file a lawsuit to nullify her election, while also calling on the committee convener to respect her rights. Li was born in China and moved to Taiwan in 1993 after marrying a Taiwanese national. In February, she became the first Chinese spouse to become a legislator while still holding Chinese citizenship. Per Taiwan's nationality law, Li must submit proof of loss of her Chinese nationality within 1 year of taking office or otherwise face dismissal. According to the law, Li should have renounced her nationality before taking office. The CEC has said they will decide by April 17th whether to file suit to invalidate her election on these grounds. Interior Minister Liu Shifang commented,
"As of now, we have not received any official documentation showing that she has renounced her PRC citizenship. Given that her status remains in question, we consider her an ordinary member of the public rather than a legislator with public authority."
The Interior Ministry and Defense Ministry have said that they will handle any future questioning appearances with the Cabinet's guidance, in line with the principle of administrative unity. Taiwanese citizens who have previously used the Working Holiday Visa program in Japan will be able to reapply beginning this April, according to a Nikkei report published this Tuesday. According to regulations, the Working Holiday Visa is mainly applicable to people aged 18 through 30, allowing holders to stay in Japan for up to 1 year for work. Japan currently promotes this system with 31 countries and regions. Previously, applicants from most countries were limited to once per lifetime, but the maximum has been increased to 2 for those from countries with frequent interactions with Japan. Taiwan is the fourth and most recent to benefit from the policy change. The Nikkei report points out that South Korea, Canada, and Slovakia have also agreed to the arrangement. Approximately 3,000 Taiwanese citizens do a working holiday program in Japan each year. Despite severing diplomatic ties with Taiwan in 1972 and establishing diplomatic relations with China, Japan has continued to maintain close ties with Taiwan through economic cooperation, trade, and people-to-people exchanges. Last year, a record 6.7 million Taiwanese tourists visited Japan, outnumbered only by South Korean and Chinese tourists. Falling water levels in Miaoli County reservoirs have exposed normally submerged landmarks, highlighting growing drought concerns as reservoir storage drops across central and southern Taiwan.
These are not ancient Roman columns, but rather evidence that the water level at Miaoli's Yongheshan Reservoir is low enough to expose its terraced slope. A local earth god shrine and the historic Liao family homestead that are normally submerged have also reappeared. These landmarks are only visible because insufficient rainfall has caused most water reservoir storage levels across central and southern Taiwan to fall below 50%. The last two times they were visible were in 2021 and 2019. While some local residents have been stopping by to take in these seldom-seen sights, they also worry about facing drought conditions once again. The current water level near the Earth God Shrine is approaching that of 2021, when storage fell below 20%. Across Miaoli County's 3 reservoirs, levels are roughly half what they were at this time last year. The Water Resources Agency has established an emergency response task force in response to the strained water supply. Meanwhile, all local residents can do is use water sparingly and hope for rain. Hannah Belinsky for RTI News.
Vice President Xiaobi Kim said Taiwan will leverage its strengths in values, resilience, and technology to deepen international cooperation and help promote regional security as global uncertainties reshape trade and security dynamics. Speaking at the Yushan Forum this Monday, Xiao said the relative peace and established trade rules of the post-Cold War international order are being disrupted by ongoing conflicts in Ukraine and the Middle East, with rapid technological advances such as AI redefining economic competitiveness and national security. She added that cooperation among trusted partners has become more important than ever amid growing geopolitical and economic challenges. Against this backdrop, the vice president said Taiwan has 3 key advantages. Xiao first underlined Taiwan's democratic values, including freedom, rule of law, and open civic participation, which she said underpin its engagement with the international community and make it a reliable partner committed to openness, accountability, and peaceful cooperation. Second, Xiao emphasized resilience, noting Taiwan's experience in responding to frequent natural disasters such as earthquakes and typhoons. She said Taiwan's resilience includes the ability to address complex security challenges, economic shocks, and cyber and information threats. Third, she underscored Taiwan's technological strengths, specifically in semiconductors. Xiao noted that trusted technology supply chains will be critical as AI continues to integrate into the global economy and security landscape. She highlighted Taiwan's role in supporting global innovation and supply chain stability. Vice President Xiao said there is significant potential for Taiwan to expand cooperation with regional and global partners in AI development, cybersecurity, digital infrastructure, and next-generation communications through partnerships among governments, industries, and research institutions. 3 Taiwanese films were selected for screening at the One World International Human Rights Film Festival in Czechia. The festival is being held in Prague from March 11th through the 19th, focusing on global human rights topics including gender equality, political persecution, refugee conditions, and minority rights. The Taiwanese entries include the drama Yen and I Li, documentary SPI, and investigative documentary Slave Island. Thank you for joining me for the news. I'm Tristan Hildebrand. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.